In our everyday lives, we are surrounded by nasty toxins, and while we are exposed to so many chemicals and pollutants in our external environment, we can't control everything. But what we can control is what we bring into our homes. Hi guys, I'm Shivani Trehan and welcome to my channel Social Cravings. In this video, I'm going to be showing you 12 ways in which you can make your home chemical free, and I will also be sharing the non-toxic living swaps. Now, by making some of these choices, these conscious choices, and making your home chemical free would massively benefit you, your family, your children, your pets, and it's good for the environment. By certain daily actions, there are many ways in which we come in contact with harmful chemicals. Now, these chemicals can enter our homes and our bodies. So, chemicals are basically endocrine disruptors. They disrupt your hormones and can create hormonal imbalances. Now, this is super important for women with period-related issues, with fertility issues. Chemicals can also cause issues like asthma, reproductive disorders. It leads to allergic reactions, and some of the ingredients in these products are also carcinogenic, which means that they are cancerous. Now, firstly, to begin with, one very big yet a very small action that you can do is change the way you buy products. Now, we are all very used to and accustomed to shopping in a way that we will only check the front of the packaging of a product. However, it's more important to check the behind of the packaging and to read what ingredients are present in that product. In this way, you can initially create a filter of what you bring into your homes. Now, I'll give you a very small example of an ingredient, and that ingredient is fragrance, also called as perfume and also called as parfum. Parfum being spelled as P-A-R-F-U-M. Now, this is a very loosely used word. It is just a fancy word for a cocktail of chemicals. So therefore, it's very important to increase your awareness about these ingredients. And to help you do that, what I can do is that in the description box, I will mention the names of certain ingredients and toxic chemicals which are present in our home care, personal care, and beauty products, which you can try and avoid. Now, let's get into where these chemicals are present, where do they come from, and what can you swap them with. Now, just a quick disclaimer, in this video, like whatever products and brands I'm recommending, I am not sponsoring any one of them. These will be brands and products that I personally use in my own house. And I completely understand that in making some of these swaps and these changes with certain brands can be expensive. However, you can find DIY videos and options for each of these products. You will find several videos on YouTube which will teach you how you can make such products even in your home using very simple and basic ingredients. Now, my first 4 recommendations are for products that we end up using every single day in our homes. Now, the first recommendation are for toilet cleaners. Now, we use this every day. We are all used to using a particular brand in our home, and I would recommend swapping this for an organic toilet cleaner. The second product are floor cleaners. Again, we are all accustomed to using a certain brand, but some of these brands have a lot of chemicals in them. Now, you might be someone who would be sitting a lot on the floor, or maybe you exercise from home, your kids play on the floor, your pets are on the floor. The last thing you want is them to be inhaling all these chemicals or coming in contact with. The third item in my list are utensil cleaners or kitchen cleaners. Now, you're using utensil cleaners every single day, right? You clean your plates, your bowls, your spoons, your glasses, and then you come in contact with those plates and spoons, and you're putting your food on top of that. And some of these products, whether they are liquid based or whether they are those bars, They're quite toxic and full of chemicals.
And for so many of these products, their ingredients are not even mentioned on the packaging. Just imagine, it's such a big red flag.
My recommendation for this again would be either to use an organic utensil cleaner, or this is something that you can check out a DIY video for. My next recommendation is to swap your laundry detergents and your softeners. Now you can do this with using soap nuts. That's what I use at home. So you can create a liquid with soap nuts, and that can also go in your washing machine. So it will not be a problem at all. So you can either wash them by hand or use that same liquid in the washing machine, or you can again look for some DIY videos for this. My next recommendation is for mosquito repellents, your cockroach repellents, or those sprays that we get, or lizard repellents, or the mosquito coils that we use. Those are very, very hazardous and are full of chemicals. So I will definitely recommend swapping these with some other organic brands and options, and there are lots available on Amazon. Like if you just type organic mosquito repellent, you will get tons of options, or you can even look at using certain essential oils. There are particular essential oils for example, for mosquitoes or for lizards, and they repel them. So you can use those essential oils and just put it in a spray bottle and use them in your house. What I can do is that I will mention in the description box some of the essential oils that you can use for these purposes. My next recommendation would be for your fruits and vegetables. I would recommend that if you can afford and if you can buy organic produce. These days there are a lot of stores which keep organic fruits and vegetables. Then there are a lot of local farmers. There are a lot of people who have these farms where they grow pesticide and GMO free fruits and vegetables, so you can source from them. And obviously one of the best option is to grow some of these things in your own home. So if you have even a little bit of space, like if you have a balcony, you have a terrace, or you have like a garden space, then definitely make use of that and you can grow some of these fruits and vegetables. Next is to avoid using plastic microwave containers and plastic bottles. Now they're full of BPAs and those crawl into your food and your water. Especially do not use plastic microwave containers to heat your food. That is very, very damaging to your food and then to you. And also, many a times when we order food, the restaurants will send food in containers, in plastic containers, and they will say that you can use this in your microwave. Please never ever do that. Always transfer your food to your own glass containers and then heat up the food. And since we are already talking about storage of food and not using plastic containers, so at this point I would also like to recommend you to avoid using foil, the aluminium foil, because again harmful chemicals transfer from the foil into your food, especially if this is something that you use every single day. My next recommendation is to ditch the fragrances. So your scented candles, your room fresheners, your air fresheners, perfumes, they are full of phthalates. And like I said, that it's a pretty word for a cocktail of chemicals. So you can definitely avoid using these. Instead, you can look at using incense sticks, like natural organic incense sticks made of natural ingredients, or you can again think of using essential oils. The next point is that how you get certain chemicals and toxins and dirt and germs into your homes and rooms just by your footwear. So we end up wearing the same shoes and slippers outside our house, and then we are using the same footwear inside our house. So my recommendation would be either you have a separate pair of shoes and slippers from outside, and then you have a separate pair of slippers to wear inside your home, or you get them cleaned regularly from behind, or just use vacuum cleaners. Or just leave your shoes outside of the house, like just at your doorstep. In fact, many Indian households already make this a practice, but yes, there are a lot of people who don't do it. So these are few of the recommendations which you can try. Now my next point is very important. That is the water that you consume, the water that you put in your body. It should be filtered. Use a good filter system at home, which should be checked and cleaned regularly. And apart from the levels of TDS, like apart from checking for those, which is the total dissolved salts in your water, if someone is chronically unwell in your family, then you also need to get your water system checked for lead levels. Otherwise, you just need to upgrade your filter system. My next point is to go through the pots and pans in your home. So for example, if you have a lot of pots and pans which have been made out of aluminium, you need to discard those, because those are full of chemicals and are very toxic. So every time you're cooking your food, those chemicals are going in your food and then into your body, and this increases your metal toxicity in your body. So a good option is to either use steel utensils, and the best is to use cast iron pots and pans. So if someone also has like low level of ions, the cast iron pots and pans will also help to increase those. And those are absolutely safe to use for your cooking. Now my last recommendation is something that even I learned very recently, which is to replace your those parchment paper that you use for baking with a silicone baking mat. So especially if you're someone who bakes a lot and uses the oven a lot, this is something that you can totally consider getting. It will be worth it because these silicone baking mats are reusable. So the next time your parchment paper gets over, consider purchasing this. Now let's quickly discuss how you can start to make these changes. First of all, I would recommend that you make a list of such products that are present in your home, and then pick out maybe 3 to 4 items which are inexpensive or are getting over. So those maybe you can swap immediately. You could throw them away or give them away. I would recommend that you go slow with this process, do everything step by step. So instead of trying to make all these changes all at once, which will maybe overwhelm you, do it slowly and maybe change your products as and when they are getting over. Honestly, when I learned about all of this, I was quite shocked, and I used to wonder that why are these products even being allowed on the shelf if they're so bad for the human body and for our systems. But all these things are very, very unregulated in our country. In fact, UK is a lot better because there are about 1200 to 1500 banned substances over there. So they filter out at the production stage itself with the companies. Even in the US, the system is very unfiltered, and they allow so many products to be on the shelf. But this is a much bigger game, right? Because big corporates are involved in this, that produce cheap products on a mass scale and put these on the shelves. So there's nothing much that we can do about that, and that doesn't seem to change anytime soon. So what we can do is make these small changes in our own homes and do the best that we can. And that's it for today, guys. I really hope that this video was informative and was helpful. In the next video, I plan to talk about some personal care and beauty product swaps that you can make. So please stay tuned for that. Do not forget to like, share and subscribe. Lots of love.